months ago, hi, where are you? All right. A couple months ago, when Jin Bin invited me to give out a speech at this conference, the first thing I told him is that, well, I don't have a lot of concrete research because I am a lecturer. I mainly teach. Okay, and then he said, you know what, don't worry, you just share your experience because we do have a lot of practitioners here today, so they want to hear my story. So today, my perspective is more on my personal growth, okay, along my teaching journey. I bet a lot of you know me as a lecturer, but seldom any of you know what I do before I became a lecturer. Even my colleagues. Do you know what I do before I became a lecturer? I work in the United States as, at the beginning, a teaching assistant. My main task is to change diapers every day. And then slowly and slowly, I moved up the ladder to become a head teacher. And then slowly, I become a senior teacher. And then become assistant director, and then a director of a child care center. Okay? Well, the thing is that as a teacher, slowly, I become a teacher leader. And then I become the one who create teacher leader. I was not aware what my role and what I should do, but my experience told me that there are some things that I need to pay attention to. So today, I want to show you my journey, my teaching journey. So I see a lot of practitioners here today. If I asked you, does your school practice teacher leadership? And I bet nobody would say no, right? Who would say no? You don't have teacher leadership at school. That's crazy, right? So, but the next question is, do you think the ideal of teacher leadership has been implemented in your school? So if you think the ideal is implemented in your school, can you raise up your hands? The key point is, what is ideal? Professor Bridget just told us what is quality. There are rubrics, there are things that we could evaluate, but when it comes to ideal, what is ideal? It can be quite subjective, right? So here I want to show you something. Discovery Learning Center. This is the center where I had my practicum, okay, which is 20-something years ago. I had my practicum, okay? And this is an outdoor Embracing Forest School curriculum school. I want to show you the owner. Linda. We are still having very close relationship with her. Linda is the one who tell me what a leader should be, what a teacher leader should be, and what should we do to create a teacher leader. Why? Number one, Jamie is my classmate, okay? When I was in this school, Bonnie, Kimberly, they are my support teacher. 20+ years, they are still working there. When I'm preparing today's presentation, I was thinking, what make them stay for this one little school in Sacramento for so long? Okay? As this case tells us something, what the founder is doing to keep all these teacher leaders in the school. Can you think of anything? So before we actually need to answer those questions, we need to understand what is teacher leadership. Okay, what is teacher leaders? And why do we need to have teacher leadership? Why? Well, let's take a look at some definitions. It is not difficult to search online, and then you can see a number of definitions flooding in the internet. So I just take out a couple of them, and then later on I find out that there is some traits, okay, to be a teacher leaders and teacher leadership, okay? Well, teacher leadership is a process, and teacher leaders are actually professionals who carry through with this process and leading change in the school for the benefit of all students. Well, today our presentation theme is about supporting students. Now, can you imagine you supporting teacher leaders, you supporting teacher is also a way to support children. How and why? Why we need to do that? Well, think about back in my long journey when I want you to reflect too. I always tell my students that, well, being students in university, number one quality is that what I tell you is not knowledge, because you can always find it online. One quality you have to have is the ability to reflect, okay? So can you think back in old times when you were frontline teachers, what you do, what you care about? When I was a teaching assistant, all I care about is to change diaper on time. Every 2 hours, okay? I need to make sure that the bottoms are dry, okay? So every single day I change 100 of diapers. That's all I care about. I don't go outside my classroom because all I care is my kid's bottom, okay, right? Yeah. And then I moved up to be a head teacher. What do you think about? When you're a teacher, when you're teaching in a class, what you worry about? What you worry about? Let's get your curriculum done. Safety issues. Have you ever thought of going to the community, you know, going to other class? I don't care about how other class is doing. I care about my class, right? So think, what are you doing? Reflecting, okay? Teacher leaders. When I moved up slowly being a senior teacher, I need to oversee other classes, okay? And then I need to communicate with different people when I see something that looks kind of weird in my eyes, right? So now I step outside of my classroom, but still within that specific school, right? And then slowly, from being the youngest teacher in that school, all the way become, you know, a lot of newcomers coming in. I get older and older, and then I moved up the ladder. I need to oversee not the school, but the district, the school district. I need to look over all the enrollment, the numbers. I need to oversee all the curriculum and stuff. I want you to think and reflect, okay? You. If you are a teacher, frontline teacher, what you care about. Principal, what you care about. Management, if you're in the management team, what you look at. How often you really spend time to directly communicate with children, okay? I do value about interaction, just like Professor Bridget said, okay? And in teacher leadership today, we're talking about interaction with our colleagues, with our peers, with our teachers, okay? All right, so why we need that? Why is it so important? We won't say that teacher leadership is not important, right? But why? But why? Long time ago, I thought being a teacher is important because we directly teach kids, right? Well, management, when I was a principal, you know, I often have somebody coming in saying that, well, you only know how to sit in the office and you don't know what is going on in the classroom. Do I? It's worth for us as an educator to continue to reflect on what we are doing, no matter we are teacher educator, or the one who create teachers, teacher leaders. Why is it important? Well, because we have positive impacts beyond the classroom. leadership will facilitate some actions to achieve a whole school process. It's about the whole school. So then if we have teacher leadership, it's not only benefiting the children, but also adults, but also the parents, but also the one around you, okay? And some people would say that, well, through teacher leadership, the school are pushed forward. Why we need to use push forward but not move forward? Sometimes when I look at English, I pay attention to the terms used. Why University of San Diego used the word pushed but not moved? Have you think about it? Why? Because we believe that a teacher leader is self-generating. It's like an engine. It's keep going and going. So we don't just move. If a school is being pushed by many, many people, teaching leaders, okay? And training improvement, collaborations, okay? Teacher leadership helps teachers to improve learning outcome, but also stepping outside the school and helping the community. Encourage inclusivity. Well, I didn't tell you one thing. When I moved up to the ladder in that kindergarten, I faced quite a lot of challenges. Being and I would say ethnic minorities, but my English is definitely not native, okay? I faced a lot of challenges by other people. Especially when I moved to become a senior year teacher, I had instances where a group of teachers want to resign because they do not agree with some decision made by the management team, okay? But I see trust by my supervisor, inclusivity. I told my boss, you know what, maybe I'm not ready, okay? Maybe I'm not ready to take up the senior position. I can step down, I don't mind, if my salary stay the same. I don't mind. But you know what, I don't mind stepping down. But then she said, oh no, I think you can do it. Your performance show me that you can do it. That I feel being included in that company as a family member, okay? Linda, Discovery Learning Center, the founder of Discovery Learning Center, she especially take up a lot of international students to be her field experience, to go to her school to do field experience. And she told me that she wants her school to be more diverse, okay? So this one I have very, very deep feeling, the inclusivity. Okay, in Hong Kong and university, we work with a diverse group of people, but maybe in local kindergarten sometimes we may not have that awareness when it comes to inclusive education. So this is something as an educators, what we need to pay attention to, right? So what's so good about it? What's so good about it? What are the benefits of teacher leadership? Well, for school, of course, if somebody knows how to manage, we have a good team, of course we can build organizational capacity and we can modeling a democratic communities, okay? For teachers, I don't know if you have had any great colleagues that worked with you well in the past. Do you have close colleagues in your teaching journey? Yes? In university, I realized working can be quite a lonely job. Why? Because we have our own office, okay? But I do have close colleagues. We make calls and say, hey, let's lunch. And then we build teamwork. And then they're so nice sharing everything with me. And then we exchange ideas. Same here in kindergarten classroom, okay? So for teachers, positive relationship. For students, turn the classroom into a lab, improve the teaching quality, Okay, because as a student, as a teacher leader, you're supposed to try out different things. I want you to think, especially experienced teacher, how often you change your lesson plan, how often you change your teaching pedagogy. Lecturer, how often you change your PowerPoint. Let me tell you, me, I don't know when it's the last time I update my PowerPoint. So, but think, time to reflect. One of the quality as teacher leaders is the ability to reflect, okay? Benefiting students and benefiting the principal. Well, Kerry is not here, but I really would like to ask him how it feels like when you have a group of very effective educators. You feel what? You feel you can just what? You can let them do the job. You don't need to worry about the outcome because you trust them. You give power to them, right? So these are some of the quality. Now, let's take a look at the recipient of Inspiring Teacher of English Award 2021. And then let's see what she said. And then I want you to think, what are some characteristics of effective teacher leaders, okay?
One word that describes me as a teacher leader and also actually as a teacher is adaptable. So as a teacher, I enjoy trying new strategies and implementing new pedagogical tools in the classroom. I think it's very important to be constantly improving my teaching competencies and also to always embrace change. So I take this belief along with me as I wear the hat of a teacher leader of English language. So in my capacity as a teacher leader, I demonstrate an eagerness to continue learning and to always keep abreast of innovative tools that can be used to enhance the learning of English language. As a teacher leader, I think it's very important for me to listen to the teachers that I work with. I'm very receptive to the feedback that they provide me with. Listening to different viewpoints allows me to improve on the programs that we have for our students. As a teacher leader, I think it is really important to be present and to work hand in hand with my teachers. Ultimately, we are all working towards a common goal, and that is to enrich the learning experience of our students. I am very fortunate because I work with a team of talented, passionate and dedicated teachers, many of whom come with a vast amount of experience. So I really do enjoy learning from my teachers. I enjoy listening to their ideas, their suggestions to improve the teaching and learning of English language. I think working together with the teachers makes this journey as a teacher leader all the more gratifying. English language is a very powerful language, one that allows for so many opportunities in the classroom. As we prepare our students for the VUCA world ahead of them, it is very important to build their English language competencies. Building their communication skills is pertinent as they navigate the fast-changing world ahead of them. In my conversations with teachers, I enjoy listening to the success stories shared by them. It excites me when they share interesting things that they have tried out in class, be it fruitful discussions that they had with their pupils, or interesting perspectives or opinions shared by the students. I think these rich discussions make it all the more enjoyable to be teaching English language. There really are no limits or boundaries when it comes to teaching English language in the classroom, and I think that's what makes it all the more beautiful. It is very humbling to win this award, and it really is an affirmation of all the good work done by every single member of our department. This would not have been possible as well without the support of our school leaders. So I think I'm very encouraged and motivated to continue implementing meaningful and effective programs for our pupils. And I'm also very encouraged to continue spreading the love of English language amongst my teachers and my students.
All right, so from her presentation, from her saying, can you tell me some of the characteristics of being a good, effective teacher leader? Teamwork? Any more? Listening skills. Flexibility. Listening skills also is something that I hear her saying a couple times. Have you ever heard of anybody telling you that, well, my principal, my boss is not listening to me? Why do you think kids are not listening to you? When you ask kids to do something and they are not doing something as you ask them to do, you will view them as not listening, right? How about if the position is that you are the boss? You ask your teacher to listen to you, and then they are doing something else. Will you consider that as listening? Same thing. If the teacher asks you to do something, and then you don't do it, so is the boss not listening? What is not listening? What? So she said listening is so important, but how? How? How we do that? Okay, what listening really means? I don't know that until I take up the program leader position in the university, okay? I will tell my students that, well, I will listen. I feel you, but... Well, yes, I know, but... So what is listening? Listening, after listening, so what? Right? So let's see. We are going to investigate all these in just a minute, okay? Well, here I found a checklist. Actually, interestingly, is being widely used in certain university, okay? And for the effective teacher leaders, they will be able to utilize data as resources, especially external resources, okay? Vision and plan, if you go back to that video, she has a passion for English, and then she wants to spread the love for English. She has a vision, she wants to promote it to her community. Communicator, that required listening and how you deliver the message, right? Well, back in my old times in the United States, I thought I listened, but I communicate well. Because a lot of time when I want to use certain words to deliver my message, I'm not quite there. In other words, my word choice is not good enough. So there are quite a lot of miscommunication in between. So then I learned by working with them. Imagine if I say something and then my colleagues, my peers misunderstand me. What can they do? They can keep that in their heart, and then deep down, they don't agree with me anymore. They don't want to work with me. But I was so glad that in that school, no matter it's Discovery Learning Center or in the center that I worked for, that one long time ago, it called the Phoenix School, a Phoenix Academy. I don't know if you reside in the United States, especially in California. They have a lot of branches in California. This school provided me a lot of chances for me to express myself. I was so glad that I have a team that willing to listen to me, okay, and willing to let me explain when they thought that I say something wrong. So as a teacher leader, if you talk back to me, I could think that, oh, are you challenging me? Well, good communicator, you will take suggestions, be flexible, accessible, okay? A trustworthy, honest, and responsible. Why I agree when Jin Bin asked me at the very first place. Why? Because he is such a good teacher educator, teacher leader. We build trust, okay? He communicated constantly with me, and then he encouraged me all the time, and then he built a safe environment for me. He ensured me that no matter how I do, it's okay. My department, my Alfredo, and all other colleagues, right? We together build a community that is so supportive. Before I walk back in right before 11. I saw my colleagues outside, and then I said, "Oh man, I was very nervous because I only have to share my own story and stuff." And then all of them are very supportive. What it shows? I think I have a quite good social interaction with them. I have quite good relationship with them. That's why every one of them, they will come in and pat me on the shoulder and say, "It's okay. Teacher leaders, we need that." Okay? So let's see. How about the one who create a teacher leader? Well, like I said, because everybody need a chance. I want you to close your eyes, reflect time again. Think about the one who gives you your very first chance to grow, to bloom. Who is that? I show you that lady, that is Linda. Okay, she gave me a chance to take up the whole classroom all by myself, even though at that time I was only studying for an associate degree. It's not even a bachelor degree. Okay, I value that chance. So as a teacher leader, creating a teacher leader, did you give enough chance for them to try out? Did you share your power with potential teacher leaders so that they can grow, develop, and eventually bloom? Okay. So I would say that the one who create effective teacher leader, they understand that we need to build a community. And then they know how to give chance, to empower, to cultivate leadership skills. And then most importantly, I think they share responsibility. Okay? I told Jimin and Alfredo, what if I ruin this presentation? And then they said, "It's okay. Nobody will remember." Really? Not him. Not him now. Well, so think. Everybody needs a chance. Okay? So actually, in our capacity, there are a number of opportunities for you to be a teacher leader. Before that, when you say a leader, well, it's very difficult. Well, I'm a teacher. When and how I can become a teacher leader? But if you think about your role and your position, there are various chances that you actually can be a teacher leader. Well, I see a lot of former students here. Have you ever thought of your role as an observer is part of a teacher leader? Okay? Well, if you are supporting teacher effectiveness project, you are doing different project, you are working towards it. Okay? Well, if you're really a mentor, for example, I see MC on my program, for my program, year 4 students, and then the other MCs from my program, year 1 students. They learn from each other. The engagement team give them a chance to talk in front of all of you. So we are grooming them to become a teacher leader. So it's not difficult to be one and to develop into one. So no matter which opportunity you take, generosity is always your role, okay, for being an effective teacher leader, okay? Well, I would think that other than generosity, in my class I always say that reflection is so important. Constantly reflect on what you are doing. I have had a class, every time I go to class, I will see who will fall asleep. And I appreciate that student sleeping in my class. I really appreciate that. Why? I feel so happy. Why? Because that one student remind me that I am not doing good. I am not engaging. Okay, it's time for me to revise my PowerPoint. Okay, I need to get updated, right? So student tells you something. Your kids in kindergarten class tells you something. There was one time I supervised a music class, and then I saw a kid fell asleep in a music class. Fell asleep? Yes, that tells you something. Principal, your teacher, your colleagues, they, from observing them, from talking to them, from listening to them, they tell you something, right? All right. So from theoretical perspective, well, it's still difficult to find some tips for how to become an effective leaders, okay? So let's take a look. So what this tells us? Well, this tells us that there are 7 dimensions that promote teacher leadership in schools. We have to be focused. We have to recognition not only recognizing what others are achieving. Always remember to phrase yourself to what did you achieve, okay? Autonomy. Are you self-disciplined? Collegiality. Are you working well with others? Are you participating in everything? Are you open for communication? And can you create a positive environment? What is positive environment? Well, in my view, is your peers feel free, feel safe to share with you, to tell you the truth. I always think that my son is not growing in a positive environment. He is almost 16 now. And I always asked him to share about his life with me. And then he said, Mom, I don't have anything to share. And I said, why? Because just nothing. But then when I see him talking on the phone or chatting with others, it's like nonstop. So I thought, well, am I creating a safe and positive environment with him? I changed, actually. Okay, I changed. I say, you know what? Every day maybe we can just do for 5 minutes. So no matter what you say, I won't yell at you or I won't get mad. So guess what he showed me the very first day, on the very first 5 minutes? He showed me his Chinese exam paper and then asked me to sign it. Told you, listening and observe, right? So from my observation is that, oh, my son thought that showing these to me is not right because he will get bad consequence. Well, from mom's perspective, okay, if I know that you are not doing well in Chinese, maybe I need to find you a tutor, I need to offer some help to you. So I keep my promise, I signed it. I said, okay, anymore? No. So we keep that habit all the way until now. Every day I try my best to use 5 minutes, no boundary talk, okay? No boundary talk. Trust me, day by day, the first couple of days, it may not work so well, but day by day, the habit develop. Environment takes time to develop, okay? So interestingly, right now, he knows, he will tell me, even that out of the 5 minutes time, he will tell me, well, Mom, I need help with math because it's getting difficult. Can't you help me? Oh, Mom, because this time I didn't do very well. Why? Because once positive environment is established and they feel free, they feel safe to share, they feel good to interact with you. So let's see some other models. Ooh, teacher leadership models, okay? Self-awareness, leading change, communication. We can see some similarity between different models, right? Diversity, so inclusive education. Instructional policy leadership, continuous improvement, and self-organization. very similar to the one that we just saw last time. How about more? Very similar thing, all right? It shows us that, well, it's not only practitioner talking about these. It's also about a lot of researchers, a lot of professionals in the field, they feel the same way. Being a leader, there are certain qualities. So to some of theories, there are certain directions to go for to emphasize teacher leadership, teacher leaders, principles. I want you to take a look at that and then reflect. Do you just focus on the classroom? Did you think about what is going on in the community? Okay. What is your expertise and roles in instructional practice? Well, did you influence others? Okay. Constantly, I feel like even in the university, my colleagues constantly influencing me. So let me grow from knowing nothing to be an experienced lecturer. Okay. So I would say that just like you would say that the kids tell you a lot. Let me tell you. I told you that when I moved to the United States, there's an interesting story. I walked to the counter. I was an international student. And then somebody say, oh, hey, how are you doing? And then I didn't know how to answer. Do you know why? Because in Hong Kong, we learned, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. This is what I learned in Hong Kong. I didn't really learn to speak English well until when? Until I worked in kindergarten. That long. I can write, I can read, I can listen, but I don't know how to speak well. I'm not saying that I can speak very well right now, but working in kindergarten, my boss told me that if kids understand you, means you are doing quite well. If you understand what a 2-year-old, 3-year-old is saying, you are doing quite well, right? So do you know your colleagues, your peers, your teachers' language? Do you know what they really means, okay? So these are some of the tricks being effective teacher leaders. Okay, so how are we going to do it? How are we going to do it in real case? How? Everyone takes part. Why? At the time when I was leading the Phoenix schools, California was in serious financial problems, okay? A lot of big companies closed down, and the Phoenix school was a private childcare center. And we lost a lot of students. And with those students, we won't survive, okay? So I was in big trouble. So I was thinking like what to do. And then I called my teacher saying that, you know what, if I don't do well, the school won't do well, you won't do well. So everybody needs to take part and think what to do. When teachers say, you know what, why don't you just tell me what to do and then I'll do it, right? And then I said, yes, I can do that, but I also want to hear what you want to do. And then she said, well, why don't we just save some money? How? By cutting your post or what? How we save money? How? So they said, oh, maybe we don't buy that many art materials. But then what should we do with kids when they need to do art, right? So they keep thinking and thinking. So at the end, what we do is that we change our school theme. Okay, the yearly theme is recycling. And then we ask, we ask families, parents, to collect all the recycled material from school. In the United States, we have backyards, right? We collect flowers, petals. We use petals to make paints, right? We use natural paints. So this is something like they thought they take part in it. After that difficult year, the team spirit definitely boosts. Why? Because together we survived that difficult years. Well, of course, I didn't only cut the art materials, I cut hours. Teachers' hours. We were on hourly base, but I also let them know that I cut my hours too. So I am with you. So open your mind, willing to embrace. If you think that you are not a teacher leader yet, feel free to speak out, okay? Culture, opportunities of teacher leadership is all around you. For teachers, all of you have the right, you have the capability and responsibility to be the leaders, okay? But not to identify who is and who is not a teacher. Okay, you are you, okay? For principal, well, unleash the resource of teacher leadership in support school change. Distributed leadership, shared leadership. You share resources, you share power. And I think most importantly, you don't look down on everybody's ability. They have very fresh ideas. I always love my year 1 students. Why? Because they are like Play-Doh. I can mold them to the shape that I like. But then slowly I found out what? They don't like it. They will tell me what they want from the program, from me, okay? So this is so important. How do we do it in a real case? Number 2, we, but not I, form a team. Well, I always thought that maybe in Western culture, we value individualism, and then in Western culture, it's another story. But no, from my understanding, from me living in the United States for 15 years almost, I think that no matter where we are, teamwork is quite essential, okay? Especially if you're working in a school. For teachers, be positive. I don't know if that happens to you. My husband always say that I smile all the time when I see other people. But maybe not to him. I don't know what that means, but I remember that from my training. And when I meet kids, I'm supposed to smile. Why? I'm supposed to bring this positivity to school. Why? Kids need that. Today we're talking about supporting children's learning, right? What if you're really having a low day? You see your peers having a low day. I really cannot stay positive. That's when team works. You will ask them why. Do you need a break? Do you need help? Maybe today you will help with some documentation type of job and I will help host a class, right? So you ask, teamwork. Being positive doesn't mean that you need to smile or laugh all the time, but you know that you are able to conquer that thing, okay? Show empathy, understanding. You understand what other people's difficulties are, and then you're honoring others. Never be shy. Well, I don't understand those who are shy because I'm never shy. But my son is quite a shy boy. He told me that he will heartbeat really quickly when he feels challenges. Teachers, I guess, when the first time standing on stage or standing in front of kids with kids yelling or don't know what to do, they feel shy and they're scared. It's okay. Why? Because that's when team works. That's why we need a team, right? And for principal, you pay effort and create environment and time to nurture these talents. It's we that matters. Think about Discovery Learning Center. I said, after 20 plus years, these teachers, the founders, my support teachers, my classmates are still working there. I find it really, really, really amazing. And I think that teamwork is what keeping them there. Because when I work there, I really feel like I'm part of the family. So, number 3 is unselfish to share. Are you willing to share your strategies? Are you willing to open your classroom? Well, honestly, I don't. I feel very nervous when I open my classroom to others. I don't like people observing my class. So I tell you, do I open my classroom? No. And it's okay. Why? Because this is something that I cannot go over with yet. And I'm open, I'm willing, I feel safe to tell my boss here that I don't want to share my classroom yet, right? Why? Because my boss creates a safe environment for me to express my feeling. But I know that he will encourage me. Jessie, you can do it. I know you can do it. Open your classroom. But you're doing fine. Just like 45 minutes ago, how my colleagues encouraged me, right? And then you are eventually fine. So unselfish to share your experience, your stuff. All our students, but not just my student or the students in your class, okay? All right, so most importantly, in my view, is reflection. Are you the one who can keep reflecting on yourself? Even though you are, for teacher students, for principal, are you able to reflect? I know that a lot of documents that you have to work on, and then you need time to reflect, but I want you to try. Every time when you stand in front of a group of people, observe them, look in the eyes, and then reflect on what you are doing. Then you will realize that you gain a lot. Who are you? Are you the one who create teacher leaders? Or are you the one who is teacher leader? Or are you not ready yet? Who are you? Okay, what you believed in? Well, I don't believe in open, honest communication. I believed in something else. So ask yourself why. Is it because of your experience? Not having very good experience doing open, honest communication, or what? Why? So where are you? What is your position? What can you do? How do you lead? What skills do you have? Okay? Do you have your position? What is your position? And your capacity, what can you do? What change can you make? I know that, for example, I am a lecturer. Well, what skills I have? I think I am doing quite well when I need to maintain a relationship with others. So how can I use this, what I see myself as a plus, to influence others? So think, reflect on all these questions. What can you do? Do you have action plans? Okay, what is your next step? What is in your plan? What can you foresee? Ask yourself a lot of questions. So today, after you finish the whole day conference, I want you to bring home some message. We get a lot of information from the conference, from the keynotes, from all the parallel sections and stuff, and then go home. When you are on the bus or anything, close your eyes and think and reflect. Where are you? What are you doing? Why are you coming to Hong Kong? Why are you attending conference today? What do you want from this conference? What are you taking away from you? What message you take away from you? So, my final words to all of you is, well, as a leader, as a potential leader, well, we are helping each school to fulfill its mission. Of course, we want to expand the professionalism, so then at the end, our students will be benefited, okay? Well, administrator cannot provide all the leadership necessary to resolve the challenges, but can you? We can. Teamwork, right? So I want to emphasize that no matter you are one or you are creating one, you are never alone. Together we'll always become stronger, okay? And no matter you are working in a university or even a homeschool, childcare, whatever, teamwork works. Just like how I am at home, my sons always say that I'm the boss. And then I said, no, we are a team. And then my husband, you are a team. Together we are family. So same theory apply to any educational settings or organizational settings. So thank you. And I welcome any questions if you have any. Thank you. Yes?
Hello. Very inspiring speech. And I highly agree with you to explain the teacher leadership from the ethical stance. I'm thinking of from the topic of promoting the teacher leadership. I know you use the term of team, we, one for all for one, because I play American football. I deeply know the team, what it is. Mm-hmm. What if we have conflict in the team? What if you have the idea of effective teacher leadership, but your needs?
Okay, thank you for your questions. And you mentioned a very good word, ideal. At the very beginning, first of all, ideal, I said it can be very subjective. So every boss will have the ideal in the heart, okay? It's very difficult to say what is ideal and what is not. I know that promoting teacher leadership can be a very challenging job, and it is always easier said than done, okay? Like I said, for myself, I'm always willing to listen and to create an open, honest communication. I know that if you ask all my students or all my colleagues, I'm always the one who welcome communication and conversation. And it is just like when I say that I opened that 5-minute talk with my son, it never works in just one day. It takes time, a quite long time, consistency. So promoting, it takes time, and also it takes how well the other person takes you. So it is also always a two-way interaction, a two-way process. It's not just you doing it, but we also require the other one to take you to be active, to be involved. So to promote it, first of all, you have your audience who are willing to participate. This is quite important. And then give it some time. Give it some time. Exactly. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think I can take one more question.
Hi. Although we emphasize the importance of teamwork, but in fact, I will find there are always people who don't want to do anything in the teamwork, whether in teachers' works or our students' group work. They are very negative and affect the efficiency. So I'm very confused about how I can to motivate everyone in the team.
Free rider, right? When we do group project, we always ask our students to provide a workload distribution so then I know who is doing whatever. And then somebody always come to me saying that, well, student A's only do PowerPoint, and I am doing all the research. Why we get the same point? Will you give more point, allocate more point to the one who do research, but less point to the one who do PowerPoint? I said, because she is your team. You agree with the allocation, so my point will be the same. I will be very happy if somebody do my PowerPoint because I don't know how to work with PowerPoints. My helpers help me to work on this. My teacher assistant helped me to work on the PowerPoint. I give her information and then she work on it. We build a team. Yesterday she messaged me, she said, well, hopefully my PowerPoint works and you like the interface and stuff. And I said, it works perfect. And then, no, you try and see if it fits your needs. And then, as I said, it's okay, totally fine, because we are working as a team. I can cap screen for you all, okay? We are working as a team. And then she said, well, I believe that with your presentation, your experience in presentation, you will be fine, even though you don't have a PowerPoint. And then I said, no, without your PowerPoint, mine won't be a great presentation because we are a team, okay? So number one, why are there free riders? Is it because they don't have the capacity to work well, or is it they worry about they are not as good as others? Okay, I think the number one thing is that you give them confidence in what they do. Even a small thing they do contribute to the teamwork. So slowly, hopefully they gain confidence, and then slowly, but again, it takes time. It takes time. So thank you so much. I hope to collaborate with all of you in a coffee times another time. Thank you.